Happy Monday to you. This is John McEntyre Show live. I'm John McEntyre. Today is Monday. I almost said March. April the 14th, 2025. This time is going by so quickly. I mean, it's almost like I don't know what month it is anymore. Seems like every day, other than Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, looks the same almost, but it's not. Um, I have a good show today. I'm going to talk about some um, some concerns with the economy that people are serious. It's your money. You want to make sure that you are, maximizing every dollar. Make sure that you're not losing any money, um, and make sure no one is stealing your money. Just throw that in there. But that's what someone said. Hey, is someone stealing our money? Will our money be stolen? I doubt it. But I'm going to cover the more practical things here about the economy. But if you do have a question or a comment, or if you have a wallet win to share, and we are seeing those wallet wins, even though with all of the uncertainty that's going on in the economy, people are still winning with their wallets. The people that are serious and that are focused and have decided that they are going to achieve their financial goals of health and wellness. And so if you have those to share, if you have a question, uppercase Q or capital Q, whichever way you call it, or if you have a question, put that in the chat there. Go to the chat if you're watching by Facebook or YouTube live. If you have a wallet win, hashtag wallet win. I'll make sure and celebrate those. That's what we love celebrating the wallet wins with people when they open up their first savings account or their first checking account, or they finally, get on a budget and stick to it and start tracking their money to understand where it's going and becoming more intentional with their finances. We celebrate those. Or if you have a comment, if you want to make a comment or share something financial, definitely financial. We're not here to talk about celebrity gossip or anything like that. We're here to talk, unless it's something that happened with a celebrity financially, because there's a lot of that news going on out there. Celebrities going broke, left and right, being scammed, things like that. Uh, we can talk about that. Uh, but here, your questions, your concerns, your financial questions and concern is our focus here. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot going on in the economy. Um, with tariffs, tariffs is a big word right now. Taxes, and the market, the stock market is just swinging. People are not sure if they should buy a home now, or make any major purchases, or if prices are going to get out of reach for them. They're just going to be able to afford, the day-to-day necessities. And so, with that being said, there's a lot. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of, there's a lot of anger, confusion, uncertainty, fear that's going on. And uh, I get the questions. I'm having more and more conversations wherever I go. If I'm at the grocery store, I'm at the coffee shop, I'm, trying to pick up my pizza, whatever, trying to do my thing, go about life, having to have those conversations. I'm working out at the gym. Those conversations, they're coming. And I take them very seriously, because a lot of the people that are having these conversations that are talking about this, they're older, they're either retired or close to retirement, and they don't have the time or and the energy to really, if something bad happened, to bounce back. And there's a right that you've worked all your life, and you've done what you're supposed to do, and then a couple of decisions out of your control are made, and you may not be able to you know to weather the storm. um, but there is a silver lining to the cloud here, and that's what I want to do. I want to discuss a few things: the tariffs, mainly the most important one is tariffs, the taxes, and the market, and how they will apply to you. So let's get into it. The first one, big one, is the tariffs. As we know, the president, he um, decided that he's just going to increase the tariffs on all the on these countries that we deal with, which I've done a show about tariffs a few weeks ago, that they're really a tax on the companies that are dealing with these countries, and the the increases are passed on to us, the consumer, everyone, the people that are utilizing the products and everything, or the services that whatever we're using. At the end of the day, that's why we should be concerned, is because we are the ones that's really going to pay. It's our wallet that's going to be affected by this. And so the good thing for the next 90 days, the tariffs on the global tariffs, are being lowered. And, what happens after that, I don't know. But for now, for the next 90 days, we know that the global tariffs have been lowered, and pretty much those tariffs have been in place. Every tariffs have been in place with every country and everything ever since. If you're doing business with a country, company, a country, then there's tariffs in place. But the tariffs on goods from China, that's where, and as we all know, most products, you pick up a product and you look for where it was manufactured. It seems like to me 9 times out of 10 it's going to be China, and that's where the biggest tariffs have happened. 125% increase. They have been increased to 125%, except for electronics like your smartphones, your computers, and semiconductors, those types of things, those tech things. They've been exempted. But from what I've seen, I carry an iPhone. I've been carrying an iPhone for over 10 years now, and I'm not totally Apple, but I do carry the iPhone. The prices of the phone is increasing, so there's something going on there. And it's not like a small increase. I'm quite sure that people that carry the iPhone, they see the increases. The people that carry, the Samsung, the big sellers in the market, everyone's talking about it. They was like, I know that they're saying there's no tariffs, in these particular areas, but I'm seeing a huge increase in these phones. And, so until I see the actual prices fall, that's when I'll believe it. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Because I'm human. I have my opinions, and everyone that I'm talking to, they're saying the same thing. These tariffs, even though the smartphones, computers, semiconductors have been exempt, still seeing a price increase. Now, but that means prices on things like clothing, household goods, and those non-exempt electronics, the prices can increase, and I'm seeing an increase. I'm actually seeing, my daughter, she and her friends, they all love the what's the company, Shein, Temu, things like that. Told them, really watch those, because ordering from those companies, they may, what they've already seen a delay in receiving their products. I know one of her friends have said, it's been like a month and I still haven't seen it. Normally it was taking like 2 weeks. I said, well, it's behind these tariffs that's going on. So if you can, even ordering off Amazon, even the delivery dates are being pushed back even further, even unless it's like Prime. And even with Prime, I'm seeing some delays. And this all goes back to those tariffs in these countries, the countries that we are trading with. And let's be more honest, the companies that we depend on and depend on us for products. The battle is serious, and we are feeling the effects of it. And so that's to be taken serious. So that's in the area of tariffs. You just be diligent. Be more selective on where you buy your products from. I know that some people are happy to, well, they're going to bring the, everything back to America. I mean, it won't happen tomorrow. It won't even happen this year. those things, it took a long time for those things to be put in place, and it's going to take a long time for them to happen. It's just a lot of rhetoric. That's all it is. It's a lot of empty words, if you ask me. But I'm going to move on here. Let's move on to this next one. The next one is taxes. The reason why we want to talk about taxes is because the day is the 14th, and we know that April tomorrow, April the 15th, is the final day of tax filing if you haven't filed an extension. And so mainly in the taxes that I'm hearing for people, and this raised a concern for me, and I've had the conversation and with quite a few people. The biggest concern is my refund is smaller. And with my refund being smaller and my living costs are increasing, okay, your refund should be smaller. Your refund, if you're receiving a refund, that's not exactly a good thing. What that means is you've given the government an interest-free loan on your money for a year. Now, I don't know anyone that has went to a bank and got an interest-free loan. I don't know anyone that has done that. And so that's why I say, if you are receiving, if you're depending, if you're looking forward to a large refund, it's time to talk to a tax pro. And it's time to get serious about tax planning. It's not it's nothing big, nothing major. You're just talking to whoever prepares your taxes, or it's time to find a good tax pro. And if you can't find one, contact us. We'll help you locate a reputable professional in the taxes. It's time to talk to someone and get serious about that tax planning, because here's a startling statistic. I tried to say that word. That's a big word to me. I need to stop saying it. Stats. Let's just use stats. According to the stats, better. There's over $1 billion in unclaimed refunds from 2021. That's 1 billion with the B. And so it's not too late. When you're filing taxes tomorrow, you can even file 2021 tax. File your 2021 taxes for your refund if you are entitled to a refund. And that's $1 billion. So I'm quite sure that would be a serious wallet win to get some of that refund money that you missed. And so you've given, if it's 2021, it's 2025. Okay, so you basically given the federal government, the government, a 4-year interest-free loan on your money. Now, what could that money have been doing for you had it been invested, or had it been in a high yield savings account, or if it's over there in your kids' college fund, or paid down some of that debt? Maybe you wouldn't have to have relied on some of the debt that you're using. Just think about that. So it's time to get smart about the tax planning. And that's the big one. That's it. Just remember, tomorrow is tax time. And let's get to this last one before we go here. The last major concern is the stock market. There's no doubt about it. The stock market, ever since the first of the year, even a little bit before, stock market has been on a roller coaster ride. And it has, someone that's watching their portfolio, especially if they're close to retirement, that is a stressor. They're seeing their money go down by a huge, over 10%. Some more, the people with the 401ks, the IRAs, and other retirement accounts, they're seeing their accounts drop, pretty far. And that's very stressful, because with some of the people, there was like, I was just starting to really recover from the recession we had in 08, 09. And so here it is again. And I understand the frustration. I understand the fear. I mean, I mean, no one likes to lose money. I hate losing money. I only want to gain. If it was up to me, the stock market would only give returns. It wouldn't take anything from you. But we all know that it doesn't work that way. And so we have to make sure and just stay on top of that. The good thing, what was it, Friday, the S&P 500, which I'm a fan of, it did increase 9.5%. It went up 9.5%. It took a dip and then it bounced back pretty good, based off of the announcement of the global tariffs being, reduced for 90 days, being done away with. And so these things, they are normal, and you just have to stay aware. I mean, the market, ever since, even, let's just talk about the recession, since the '08 recession. I mean, not every year has been a great year. There's been a lot of good years, a lot of great years, but there have been some down years. It happens. That's just the nature of the market. And so with that one, you have to stay diligent. My advice and what I'm doing, not pulling any money out of the market, because how can you recruit money that's no longer in the market? How can the market give you your money back if you've taken it out? So now's not the time to get scared, be afraid and pull money out, because you make money, your money increases from time in the market, not trying to time the market. So don't pull it out and then think, okay, I'll watch it, and when it starts to increase, I'll put it back in. Unless you are a trader that does that on a day-to-day basis, and even they're not, they even admit that they're not as good as they have everyone to think they are, of knowing when this is going to happen. We don't know. But what I do know is, if the money is not in there, it can increase. It cannot increase. So, and another thing, if the market is down, that means the market is on sale. So there are some good companies out there. They've dipped. That doesn't mean that they're bad companies. It just means there's a dip in the market. Me personally, that's a signal to pick up some of the extra shares in the S&P 500, that's on sale. It's like anything else. Let's go back to the iPhone. If the iPhone comes out and today you decide, no, I'm not spending over $2,000 for a phone, and then it falls to 900. Okay, sure. I mean, I'm sort of used to paying that for one. Okay, yes, I'll take it. It's on. And if it falls even further, people are going to run out and buy extra ones, because they're going to start thinking, hey, I can take this extra and put it on eBay, or I can just update everyone's phone because now they're on sale. It's the same thing with the companies. Okay, they've dipped in price. Buy. They're not bad companies. They're going to come back. If they don't, it's in the S&Y, like the S&P 500, is all the companies are in there. So some companies are down, some companies are up. So it is balancing itself out. That's just the quick and dirty on it. It's a lot more to it than that. But at the same time, we have to learn to deal with these market swings. But just stay in the market. Don't rush and pull all the money out. Don't pull all your money out of the market. But what I will say before I go is, what you can do is beef up your high yield savings account, some cash. Now is the time, in uncertainty, is to beef up your cash, your emergency fund, just in case. You have money set aside for the security purposes, and it gives you options when you have cash in the bank, and you know that your bills are going to be taken care of month to month. That security blanket can help you buffer and weather the storm. It can buffer the storm and help you weather it. So that's my take on it. That's my quick, economic update, with the tariffs, taxes in the market. So hopefully I gave some good information and some information that you can use. Now is not the time to panic. Definitely not the time to panic. It's just remember why you are doing what you're doing with your finances, and stay that course. Because I've talked to some of the older, mentors and people who've shared their wisdom, who said, oh yes, I've lived through a depression. I lived through a couple of recessions, and I made it out okay. I did okay. I still achieved everything that I set out to achieve. So with enough time, everything should be okay. So that being said, like I said, I hope I gave some good information. You may want to talk to a professional. we're here for you. Our contact information is on the screen. I'm going to put link in the description. You can get on the calendar to talk to someone to maybe understand what your options are and maybe what you should do to get everything on target to achieve your financial goals. And so this is John McEntyre saying, until next time, tune in. Don't forget to share those wallet wins. Send in your questions, send in those comments, and we'll make sure to address them on the next show. So until next time, this is John McEntyre signing off.